Okay, so if you want to ask a
This meeting is
question,
being recorded.
or if you want to ask a question, if you want to put your hand up, because I know some people like to watch, but if you do want to ask a question, you can. If you put your hand up, and then I'll go to you. Miss Rachel.
Hi, Becky.
How are you?
Oh, so nice to see you, really.
Lovely to see you too. Rachel was like one of my first clients.
Oh, Becky
ever.
saved my life years ago, didn't you?
long time ago. That was a few years back, huh?
That was when Becky was an unknown in those days. Yeah. Okay, Becky, so at the heart, would you, because I've been doing a lot of heart healing, there was a lot needed. So would you look at my heart and the feminine side to see whether or not she's finally willing and open to be supported by the masculine and trust the masculine, as that's been my lifelong mission.
Oh, are you? What's happening? Are you not in a relationship anymore?
I was with Radic, that guy, for a long time, but it was painful, always painful. And it's recently, he's still around, but I'm trying not. I can't go there anymore. I don't think he's good for me.
Okay, let's do a little journey on you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Okay, about heart.
It's very exciting, my heart, so it might be it's pounding now because I'm so happy to see you. So.
Oh, we'll have to have a catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel. Okay, so as I stand here, Rachel, I'm just gonna ask you to, now 2 energies have popped in. So sort of your heart energy, which is you're created from many frequencies, and your heart's popped in, but a higher frequencies come in from soul level. So the heart level that's here within your body that you're in touch with is a bit low, and the lowness is like it feels like a lack of direction, or a lack of what do I want, or where am I going, what's this all about. So I'm just, and that's probably why the higher frequencies have come in. So there's many questions that are going on within you that I can see, and asking to walk a path to higher frequencies, going better. You don't want to go, so you're standing, you're sitting down, and then you're taking me right in the middle of your brain, so right between the left and the right brain, left and right light bodies. You say, I do know what I want, and then you're showing me a house, and you're showing me the younger lad, your boy. It's like you want things for him, if that's more friendships or girlfriend, and more active social setting. And then I see a man, but the man is not any man, it's Radic. So you've brought him in, so your heart's brought him in. So there's the lack of understanding of what took place, and that lack of understanding is stopping you from moving forward, or have the need or the want to go back. So this is from the heart, not from the mind. The mind may think very differently about this. You're saying, I wanted to love and express my love to him. And you're saying everything of why you love him. There's everything, and perfectly perfect he was to me, or is to me. However, there was times where his anger or his walls that he had up within himself made you vulnerable and scared, and not sure how to manage or interact with his energies. You placed it upon yourself that you were doing something wrong, and that insecurity and that vulnerability would build up within you. You wouldn't let it out straight away or express your insecurities or fears around his behavior. And then when it built up, then you would explode and anger came out, and then big rows or a big fight would escalate into something much bigger. You're saying that's because I'm scared of actually letting out vulnerabilities, of feeling rejected when he places his walls up. I didn't know how to handle his walls, and I don't know. This will happen again, even if I go with somebody else. I need to learn how to express my vulnerabilities when somebody is not as forthcoming. If I analyze myself, I do the same myself. I place walls around myself, and I expect people to understand what's going on within me. And they then, the little girl in me wants them to run to me to be saved, but they can also take it that they are being rejected. I don't put myself in their shoes. I just in me at the time. And this is the same for Radhik. When his wall goes up, he's in his own lots of fears and insecurities within himself, and he can't place what his actions or his walls does to me. So his feeling like he's not doing well or doing his best, feeling crap about himself, he then projects that onto me. As this dynamic within you both took place, the brain, masculine side, is protecting, like we're not going there. That this man, just to let you know, which I'm sure you do, he has you in his heart. There's a heart-heart connection. As higher energies come in, Rachel, you need to get out of the way of belief of life is a certain way and you have to do certain things in order to achieve enlightenment. There's many beliefs that you've taken on in your life that restrict you, and this has come from the spiritual, esoteric background of beliefs. You need to throw them away. No one knows how to live your life. It's unique to you, and therefore going outside of yourself is on the next step, or what to do is useless. It has to come from you and what your heart wants. You also have to sometimes even eliminate parts of your mind and the way of thinking, because it can take you off track of your heart. The way to enlightenment is follow your heart, and that is unique to each individual on this planet. You restrict your heart consciousness coming fully through into your body because your mind is scared of opening up the love that you have for Radhik. And also you can get overwhelmed by your heart because your heart does want and need, and therefore your mind can place you under pressure of, can I create everything that I want and need? So you restrict your wants. By restricting your wants, you restrict your manifestation. Your mental mind needs to understand that manifestation can be very magical, and that yes, we have to do and we have to be proactive, but some things can just happen magically. So allow yourself to want. It is part of the manifestation. If you restrict it, and this is wants not just on a physical nature, but on the basis of it, can be very basic. body needs. The body needs, if that's food, drink, sexual energy, loads of things like this. These energies are based in wants, and it's a natural part of the feminine. Don't restrict. You restrict your field, it restricts being able to code who you are or understand yourself. And follow your heart always, it will lead you to the right place.
Not what I
Okay.
The radicals in my heart.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
It may
no,
just be it may just be that
no,
you need to overcome the relationship. When relationships end, if it's not understood, it can stop you moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Rachel. Lovely to see you.
Me too.
Okay, bye. Joe. Joby.
Hey, oh, I'm sorry I jumped in your diamond group the other day. I just responded to an email that I got from you,
Oh no, that's fine.
Sorry
that's fine.
about
That
that.
was no, it was my admin error. It's absolutely fine. I'm sorry that I put you in that position. So don't worry.
That's all right. I kind of felt, because all it said on there was diamond, and I thought, well, maybe they're gonna. But it was weird because I was trying to sign up for your group for this journey. I was trying all week to get in, and I get to the last step, and it wouldn't let me do it. It said, because I have a Brazilian cell phone, but I have my card and everything is on the American address that I've never been to, but it's just a buddy of mine's house, and I didn't want to. I don't have a number in America, and then it started reading me as like, oh yeah, you got a PayPal account, and once it does that, about 25 years ago, I was on PayPal, and I had to give my cell phone. I didn't remember what it was, and so every time I'm on a PayPal account and it sees my email address, it forces me to try to go into that, and I won't do any business with PayPal anymore. But I don't even know how I got on Patreon. I don't even know how that accepts it, but it's the same card. But I just gave up. I thought maybe I'm not supposed to do the journey class now or something. I think it, but I don't know what it was. But I thought, well, maybe that was you were giving me a taste of it or something. But as soon as when you weren't calling on me, I thought, oh my God. And then you said, hey, get out of here. No, you didn't. You booted me, and I was kind of embarrassed, and I didn't want to say goodbye or anything. I just took off.
You weren't the only one. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, there was quite a few. Don't worry.
Oh, when you finally mentioned me by name, I thought, oh, I got to get out of here. I don't know what I'm doing. So sorry about that. But then you told me about this healing, and I almost forgot about it. But I go to bed at time just not is an issue anymore. And I think I went to bed at like 8 o'clock and got up at 3. And so I thought 5 o'clock. Hey, I might as well just jump in on there. But when I first, I wanted to tell you that the very first time I was on Patreon, you said, hey, can I jump in your consciousness? I thought, yeah, great. And then you told me a lot of things, but one of the things that really stuck with me is like that my masculine side of my brain was just full of shit, Well, you didn't say that. You said it's just a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter. And so since that time, I don't know if it's been a year or two, but it's, I have, oh my God, I've cleared all kinds of stuff out of my head. And, and I've been trying to live in my heart, and it's just, instead of my head. I was a conspiracy theorist back then and a truther, and I'm not any of that anymore. I've totally disconnected from 3D matrix. I think I faced every trauma since COVID, especially started. It caused me to look within, but I don't think I have any traumas left that I can find. But I just wanted to see if you could check and see what the next or what is blocking me from really living in the heart and going all out. Maybe, or if there's any, I know there's progress because the way I feel is really good all the time.
Okay.
You know,
Brilliant.
if you
Okay,
can
then.
just take a peek and see what the blocks are.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. And the mind is we need the mind. The mind decodes what the heart is feeling, and so it's both energies. Okay, so as I stand here, Joey, your energies is standing next to me, or you're standing next to me, but then you're walking towards your light bodies. You're going back towards it. There's millions of connections between the left and the right brain, and you're making me aware of a connection that you want to reconnect, as we tend to have disconnections due to traumas and perceptions and beliefs. So there's part of your brain that's not radiating at the frequency of your heart. And the frequency of your heart, what's the energy that wants to come in and help you is a type of frequency. Is like everything's okay, like but there's fear in your mental mind. So as I go into that fear, this is a fear. It makes you, it's blocked. So how your mind, when you go in, because of the lack of feminine energy in this part of your brain, it makes you worry about money and finances and have the feeling like everything is going to go or a lacking of. So you basically, this area of your brain, there's a lack of, and then how you would, your mental mind would interpret, because it has a lack of feminine energy, because you've blocked it off, you would then start worrying about finances and worrying about money and maybe stock, or you may even go bigger, and how it's going to affect you. But actually it's because you're not, the real finance, the real wealth is your feminine energy. So I'm just going to find out why you won't allow that energy in. If I become disconnected from my heart, and it could happen anywhere in my brain, I'll then start worrying about money, and then I know, oh, hang on a minute, I'm disconnected. There's something, I may be avoiding a certain emotion within me or something. So when I ask about this disconnection, you then take me back to your early childhood, and now I'm with your mum, your mum's energy. I see you as a little boy, and I see your mum mothering you. She's telling you something. So I'm just seeing what programming. There's something about us seeing people with money as different, as they are not good people. So people with, it's like your mum saw rich people or people that are comfortable as in a negative light. They're not the same as the rest of us, kind of thing. And that started the feminine energy not coming into the physical as you're starting, because money is a symbol of female energy. So people that lack are people in your mum's eye are better people, and the people with more or appear to have more wealth are less than. This is kind of like a perception that probably many people can relate to. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I have been, I got divorced, well, in theory, about 2 years ago, and so I'm just, I feel that I've disconnected with everything in 3D, but not my Social Security, and so I'm working on that. I'm working on a way to get some kind of currency here, because I want to move to Thailand later this year, and I got to be out of this place in December because that's when season starts. But I was thinking about the whole twin flame idea and researched that, and I came up empty, and I just couldn't see a way that with all this multiverse that there would be one person that was in your life, then the other half of it's not like a relationship. This is half of you, and I thought that I just can't believe that would be true. But then as I was studying Asia, and my buddy was talking about going to Thailand, I thought, I could afford to live there, and I thought I see the Asian traditional culture as because every time, like if a man chooses a man suit and a woman, even though we're 50% feminine and 50% masculine, when you choose a man suit, you're going to be masculine, and a masculine man is going to desire to find the feminine energy. And so that's what I crave. I don't crave a relationship. I crave the feminine energy that they have over there. And I see them as far more advanced. They see this whole modern women thing as that the West has as an infection. And so it'll never go over there, I don't think, because they're very protective of their traditional values, and they're always looking at what they can do for a man and treat him like a king and everything. But it's just I want to be around that energy, and I want to grow from that energy, and more than I want a relationship with one person or anything like that, because I can't see myself ever living with a woman again, because it requires so much of when I left my wife of 14 years, I was sucked dry, and it wasn't her fault. I gave her all my energy, and it just trying to love and everything, but I would never do that again. I mean, I love my.
Yeah, this belief that I've see how that would affect you. It make
and
you
it's caused me to
Joey.
really talk, and because of you, makes
Joey.
you what? Yeah,
Joey. Just because I don't want to get sidetracked, just to give you a little bit of understanding what this belief does, it stops you from accepting your own feminine energy. So it causes a lacking of in your life. Therefore, it would affect the relationships that you have with women, a lacking that you get lack of the feminine, and that would be projected into relationships, into your finances, into life itself. So what plays out in your brain, because of the belief that people that have everything or appear to have everything, they are not good people. And therefore, so turning that around for you, that feminine energy that you are, it's like breaking down this belief that you could put it in a simple terms, that money's not bad, that money is a representation of the feminine energy, and that you can have the feminine. So it may be that in your previous relationship with your wife that you have for 14 years, the reason it was you didn't receive the balance in that relationship was because of the belief that you held within yourself.
Oh, okay. I can see,
Okay.
I can see part of it. The finances, it seems like you were talking about my mom, and happy Mother's Day in heaven or wherever you are. But mom, and but it's just I can see that finances are a worry though from time to time, because I'm trying to disconnect from Social Security. I don't believe in government, and I'm disconnected to pretty much everything else that the government. I don't have a visa here. I don't have a driver's license. I don't subscribe to anything that I can possibly do for that. But I mean, but the fact that it's a worry. But you said I go into a relationship and I'm lacking feminine energy. If I'm not
Within you.
around that, do you think it'll help me if I'm around, this feminine energy and this traditional value, that they have there? Do you think that I will receive the feminine energy that I crave?
It has to happen within you. The reason probably you cut off your finances is because of this belief. I don't want to be associated with, so it goes along the line. It's like within you, it's okay to have wealth. It's okay for life to be easy. It's okay to have feminine energy, but the feminine energy is your own feminine energy. So it's maybe reflect on how your mum perceived money and why she perceived it that way, because how she looked at money and how she put that down to you, you perceive feminine energy as people who have it are not good people. So therefore you don't receive your own feminine energy, but then that will be also reflected in your life, in what you manifest. So it may be that with your wife, the interactions with your wife, she was giving you, but because you wasn't there to receive it, because you've had a block up in that area of your brain, so you wouldn't have felt it. It wouldn't have flowed to you. But I can't really spend loads of times because it's I've spent quite a lot of time. But if I can send you a voice message if you need clarification.
Yeah.
But listen, I'll put this up and listen to it again.
Yeah, I just need to know how to connect more to my feminine energy, and I need, and the reason Eckhart Tolle says the reason to go to a spiritual fair and 80% of them are women is it's natural. The women connect to the heart automatically, and the men connect to the brain automatically, and they need a good woman to guide them to their heart. And so I know I'm attracted to that, but I'm not attracted to living with a woman, but I'm attracted to that feminine energy because I crave it, and I think that's normal for a guy, but it's just it's so difficult to go from the head to the heart. And that I know you don't, you're a woman and you probably don't understand this, but there's a reason even on your board, most of these people are women, I mean, I'm not like any of my guy friends. They, maybe a few that I talk to, but it's just rare to even.
You might want to have a chat with Toto.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'll let you go now, Joey. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. There's lots of people. Okay, sweetheart. You take care, and if you fancy a chat with Toto, just send me a message, and I'll connect you guys up. Okay. Big hugs. Linda. Oh, Joe. Sorry, Joe B.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi. How can I help?
Histamine. I have an issue with histamine overload or histamine intolerance and sensitivity, and I'm just wondering what the root cause of that is. What I can do to help.
Medication. Have you got hay
Pardon?
fever? You got hay fever?
No, it's actually connected to my hot flushes and the inflammation in my urinary tract, you know, that you've seen before. Because when I go on a really low histamine diet, it heals up a lot, clears up a lot. I know we've looked into the hot flushes and the inflammation in my urinary tract before, but it's connected to histamine. So I'm wondering if you could look into the histamine issue, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's histamine as a pollen, is that right?
Well, no, it's weird. It's produced in the body.
Oh, okay.
It's in lots of foods, like it's really high in certain foods. The body's supposed to like block it and process it, but a lot of people get an overload of it and then it causes symptoms. So it does cause hay fever too. So allergy stuff. Okay. But it's bigger than that.
Okay, I'll just ask your body. So as I'm asking your body takes me to the back of the brain. What you're saying is a genetic connection. This has come down the family line. You're showing me your family line. So how does one, when I ask what do you need to do to help you with this? You then take me into an area of your brain where it's been affected. So the right side of the brain is very compartmentalized, and it's like tiny little boxes of different ways of feeling and perceiving. Depending on where we are in the brain will depend on how we feel within the body. This is why we can go from feeling amazing to feeling not so great very quickly. It depends on the perceptions, where our perceptions jump to at that time, and that can be triggered from outside of us. Triggering from outside of us, or how we emotionally feel about things. And where I see that this is affected is like there's many boxes here, so about 10 or so. That makes you feel, so as I go into one box, I feel heavy, and there's a heaviness that you're carrying within the body, and that heaviness is also pain, headaches, just not right. So I'm just going to talk to this area of your brain. I need to find the common cause of this, because it is emotionally based as well. There is a way of thinking that has come down the family line that causes the body to react in this way. So when I ask what the common cause out of all these boxes, then your higher energies come in. As I go into the higher energies, it's suppressed anger and believing that you can't get what you want. Now, what you want is feminine energy in this part of the brain. So you want to feel good about yourself. You want to be able to express who you are through the body. The way of overturning this would be only this: as healing parts of the brain, there's the mental healing through the understanding, which can calm things down. But the actual healing of the body requires the femininity. The femininity in this area of your brain is blocked. And this causes anger and frustration, and then causes your body to react in this way. So when I go to why your area of this brain is blocked, well, it's been blocked down the family line. So you haven't had a way of understanding of expressing your emotions through the body. Your mum was very restricted on her emotions, and if she did share emotions, it was mental emotions or anger. It wasn't real how she was feeling, vulnerabilities, or so you kind of kept away from this. It's like breaking into you, or you breaking into yourself to actually help you feel. There is a little girl in you that doesn't want to do that. It's so scared that you shut yourself off. The fear that this little girl is in is so big that your brain can then just work by itself. It just works by itself, trying to find solutions, and the solutions can never be found because you're so disconnected from this fear of actually expressing what's coming through your heart. What I would advise for you to do, because me even expressing this, I see the little girl in you just crumble up, like, no, I'm not talking. I'm not going to be forced to talk. I'm not going to be forced to feel. I'm not coming into this area of my body. It may be that you need really a safe environment and also determination within yourself that, hey, okay, I've done through everything, but actually have I connected to my emotional self? And be as honest as you can with yourself. Have I connected to the fears that I had as a child and come to that only you can do this? And that is facing your fears of how you feel and the feelings that you had as a child. Because the fear that you had as a child at certain points of expressing your emotions is still within you, which stop you reaching areas of your brain, which then cause symptoms within you. There may be other therapies, as in if it's past life, if it's like hypnosis, or I mean, Totto's very good, because you need a real safe environment to really get in touch with your emotional life. This part of your brain is not in touch, so it doesn't feel how you're feeling. It doesn't feel the fear, so you can live quite comfortably not feeling the fear that you have inside, and feel everything's okay. However, parts of your body is not happy, and that is because of the lack of feminine energy, because of the fear in your feminine. Is this making sense?
Absolutely, completely. Yeah.
Okay. So it may be that like therapy, where you've got putting 3 hours aside, where you're like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do this for my body. I'm going to really like heal the little girl in you, and not allow your brain, because your brain's got many different ways, dynamics to get out of that situation, because you're trying to protect the little girl in you, and you can do it.
Yeah. So a journey to my inner child, to that part of me?
The thing is, you can journey. When did I first feel fear or feeling? But when you feel the fear, allow the fear to come in through your body. And also it's learning to talk, like how we connect the left and the right brain is actually through the body. It's talking and expressing the emotions, allowing the emotions to be felt within the body, and expressing it outwardly.
Okay, so more expressing.
Yeah, little girl.
Touch base with that plus family line, maternal line.
Don't worry about that. It's just more understanding that this has come through the family line, that you haven't had a mum, bless her, she couldn't express either. So she's giving you the baton and going, okay, you need to do this. You need to learn how to do this.
Okay. So learning myself and more expression.
The anger that you feel at times sets off, that's due to the lack of feminine energy, and then that anger then produces the symptoms in your body.
Yeah, totally resonate with that. Makes complete sense. Okay, it's just
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for this lovely gift of the free
You're
healing.
welcome. You're so
All right.
welcome.
Yes,
You take
bye.
care. Bye bye. Lina.
Hi, Becky. Hi,
Hi.
good morning.
Good morning. So lovely to hear your voice.
Yeah,
It's been
thank
a
you.
while.
Thank you too. Yeah.
How can I
I
help?
have a like a sort of a personal question, not so much like a healing question, but I'm very curious about why I love the city of Istanbul so much. I've been there so many times. I also lived there for a short period of time. And I'm going back there next month. Also, I had an incident there where I felt I almost my life was in danger, and I was saved in the last minute.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so I'm just. Do you have a past life in Istanbul? Is it something that you could look into?
Okay. Yeah. Lina. Okay, so as I stand here, Lina, you're taking me up into your soul. In our soul, we hold many different identities that we've lived, past lives. And you're taking me to a certain frequency within your soul. So as we walk in, you're saying this is a past life. It's a print of a past life. So it's not a past life you've actually lived, but it is energies that you've taken on within your soul to help you navigate through your life here on earth. So you're saying this is a print. Therefore, the energies of Istanbul were given to you before you came into this physical reality. So when I see you in those energies, it has a feeling of home in your heart because these energies live within your heart. Istanbul was with you before you even went to Istanbul. Why did you bring these energies on earth with you? What made you? Istanbul has a way of connecting you to your inner child and innocence that allows you to be happy. It is a place where you can remember who you are, and that the surrounding areas not only trigger us and also to heal ourselves, but also trigger us to remind us of the innocence and the beautiful being that we are. This area, for some reason, I'll look into it more, just brings out this inner freedom that you have within, but it travels down the frequencies into your body when you can feel alive and feeling of home. Just going to ask your soul. There's everything about it. It's the smells, it's the food, it's just everything. So why was that picked in? What you're saying, it could have been anywhere before you came here. So before you came to Earth, you were then shown of Earth, the whereabouts where you're going to be born, what was that going to do, but you needed a reminder. It could have been in your country, it could have been in a different country, it could have been anywhere, but you chose there to remind yourself of the innocence, beautiful energy that you are, where you can feel alive. So it is a spot where you connect to a deeper part of your soul and able to feel it and feel more alive there. So it's like an automatic response because it connects to higher frequencies, like a reminder. It's like, I suppose when if you've got a child and you give them a teddy bear, and that teddy bear is like, oh, it's sleep time now, and you give it, okay, no, it's like an association. So you chose that place for association to help you connect to the innocence of who you are and the joy of living.
Oh, that's yeah. It's probably totally true. I think I feel, you know, like the best version of myself when I'm there. I feel like a newborn, adventurous. What can I say? Very independent and just cut off from my traumas, maybe. Yeah, just open all my senses and living in the moment. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Thank you, Becky. That was nice
You're
to hear.
yeah,
Yeah.
fabulous. Lovely to
Okay.
hear you. It's lovely to
Thank
see
you
you,
too.
Lena. You take
Yeah,
care.
likewise. You too. Goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, David. Is there a David? If there's no. Lisa.
Becky, it's Rhonda. And
Oh,
David.
Rhonda.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, I
okay.
didn't unmute myself.
Okay.
This is a
Hi,
first
Rhonda.
for me, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless you, don't be. It's okay.
I've been following
Okay.
you for ages and just love what the information that comes through. It's just so inspiring. I've got a thirst for knowledge, you know, and truth and that sort of thing. There's a couple of things, but what can I say? I've got an underactive thyroid, and I would like to heal it naturally. I did try, and I got myself sick. So I had to go back on drugs and medication, and I've still got this strong, you know, view to healing myself. Can you see if I can do that for myself?
Yeah, so it's underactive. How long has it been underactive?
Oh, quite a while. Yeah, 20 years, I
Okay.
suppose.
20 years. Did you take the medication?
Yes, I have.
How long did you?
But
how long did you take that for? How long did you take it for?
All that time. Yeah.
20 years. So you've been on the medication for 20 years.
Well, I did last year go off it and tried a healing method, but it didn't work, and I ended up a wreck. So I'm conscious that I just dislike drugs, and it's the only drug that I'm taking.
So you're back on the drugs now?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay, let's go and see if this is viable, because generally the drugs, is it a levothyroxine?
Yes.
They basically destroy whatever was left. But I'll have a look and see if we can, what your body says. Right, your thyroid in itself has an energy, an inverted energy on it. So it means that there's, with all our organs, the frequencies from the brain get basically projected into all the organs, into our bodies. And there is either a belief that is being projected there that is not true, that's inverted. So I'm just going to go into that first and see if we can understand the belief that you're carrying, which is affecting this area of your body. So this may be the original of why it stopped working in the way that right. Our hearts is a natural part of the frequencies, and the basis of the heart is want. What we want out of our life. Before we even come into physical reality, we must want to be here. Unfortunately, that gets lost through going into survival and not wanting. And this part of not wanting, and parts of your brain not wanting to listen to your heart because of protection, has caused. So it's like when I go into this, it's like a little girl not wanting to listen to mummy. How we connect to our hearts is our connections to our mum, and quite a stubborn little girl to your mum that I can see. And the stubbornness I need to understand, because generally we can be stubborn because, you know, this is right and this is good for us, or we can be stubborn on the sort of negative side of overprotecting oneself. So your thyroid, the structure of the thyroid is masculine, but within that runs the thyroid is feminine, and you're stopping the feminine energy coming in through this stubbornness of not listening to yourself. And it's, you create maybe even create an identity of the stubbornness. Now, this is good for me, I'm not going to be told what to do. You probably hate people telling you what to do, but it's actually your heart trying to guide you and tell you what to do. And that sometimes you block out because of parts of the relationship with mum at an early age. So I'm just going to talk to the little one, little you. Your heart is very free in itself. There's a beautiful energy, and it's like, I want to do this, and it's really lovely energy. But your mental mind, it can block out opportunities, manifestations. It's like, no, I'm not, and how this would be related to your experience, in your physical experience, would be a mistrust in female energy. No, I'm not going there. I'm like, I know I'm blocking opportunities out. Was your mum quite tough on you as a child?
My mother died when I was about, before I was of the age of 2. Oh. And I was raised by an aunt and uncle who I thought that was my mum and dad. And they didn't tell me until the age of 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It was, yeah. As a child,
so how was your auntie towards you?
Oh, she loved me, you know. They were very kind, and they really broke down when they, you know, told me they didn't like to face things. So eventually they had to tell me, because I was about to get married at 20. And yeah, that was, I'd sense it together through my childhood, little bits and pieces that, you know, children are intuitive. So that was not an easy, you know, time. They treated me as not because I wasn't their child, they used to protect me, overprotective. And so I was very quiet and, you know, yeah, it was tough. But I survived that and went on to be married at 20, and that fell through after 10 years. But I had a little girl, and she's now 40. So, yeah. But you know, getting back to this underactive, it's just, I would just like to heal it if I could.
There's, if I speak to the little girl, because there's stubborn energy that's in, which sort of blocks you off from the feminine in this area of your body. So as I speak to her, let me just speak. This part of you that's, remind me of my daughter. It's like, I'm not being told what to do, and I'm not doing what you want me to do. So, but you're around 6 years old, and it stops the left connecting to the right side. So I'm just going to talk to you here. And And then I'll get a higher perspective on your thyroid, or talk to your body and what your body needs. The stubbornness comes from a lack of understanding of the feminine and not knowing what one wants. And therefore, it may be that your auntie, because you're older, that you couldn't quite understand what it is that she needed from you, and therefore the stubbornness came in order to protect, like, I'm not doing that, but it came from a lack of understanding. As I ask the question about the thyroid overall, because it's like, as the little girl calms down, it's like allowing this energy to come into your body. So this can get triggered through not understanding things within yourself, to your emotions. If you don't understand why your emotions are your emotions, why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Now, our feelings are timeless. Therefore, the feelings that we have, they can get triggered from the now, but they can be back from when we were a little girl. It may be like one of the learning how to understand your emotions, maybe a real big gift for you, of learning to journey to the root of your emotional life, so you can understand, because that would be very healing for you. So the little girl in you is not frightened of how you feel, and gains understanding of the feelings that you have. As I ask about the thyroid overall and the best method, if there's more other than what I've suggested, a higher energy of you come in. So this energy comes from soul level. You're very like happy and like excited to invite me in. Very beautiful energy, lovely energy that you are. You then go to the core of yourself, which is like an unconditional love energy. She needs to remember that she is that she is unconditional love, that not to be frightened of the feminine. There's nothing bad or dark about her at all. It's actually the most beautiful place that she can go to. The feminine energy is, the depth of it is just pure light, and she is that. There is a fear of who she is, and that is because of the feminine in itself overall, what's happened to the feminine, to the collective, that's happened on a collective level, but also there's parts of her childhood that there was fear in her family of how she would react to the news of her biological mother. So she became in fear of the truth of who she is. The truth of who she is will only set her free, and therefore her understanding not the outer reality, but actually the inner reality of who she is. That's where she needs to go. She needs to understand herself, and that is understanding the emotions that she carries. Because she's had two mothers, she needs to understand both, as both frequencies live within her, and she needs to determine what is hers and what is not. When she decides to do it, is a very exciting journey to have, and a journey that will open her up. The thyroid is a butterfly. She needs to spread her wings and open up that butterfly, and therefore the healing in her thyroid will expand, it will grow, but it is a process. It's not a flip of the switch. Understanding your emotional life is a process, a journey in itself. She's trying to understand, but it goes the other way of understanding the outer reality. The thyroid, you can use it in a way of actually understanding yourself. And when you get to that point of a peace within yourself, that removes that, there's no fear of who you are, the thyroid will be like I just see a butterfly on your throat.
Amazing.
Okay.
So I can do it. I can heal.
You can do it, yeah. But it's going to be a process of understanding you,
Yes.
your emotional life, and where those emotions come from. And I think eliminating, because fear has been passed down, so it's like your family were frightened of you understanding of yourself.
Yeah,
at an early age.
I was surrounded by that. Everybody took pity on me. This little girl has lost her mum, and I sensed that as a child. And thank you, Becky. You're beautiful.
Welcome. Oh, so
Thank
are
you.
you. You take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Karen from Cali. Karen.
Hi, Becky. I'm here.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. So the previous people had topics that really did, like you said just a few minutes back, that we collectively we share the frequency. So a lot of those, the past 2 or 3 just kind of sounds like what I'm expecting to hear from you. So I'm battling a lot with drug and alcohol addiction. And I feel like this was a chapter in my life that I had put behind me. And lately, or over the past several years, I just keep looping right back into it. And I just think to myself, I thought I've already, dealt with this. But I know that it's really just me being in fear of moving forward in my life. And I'm trying to have a better understanding of how I can, transition through this phase, because I know that I will, but my body is in pain. And I wanted to know if there was some, maybe tip or a message from my body of where I can start, what is most priority, how to be successful at my coping mechanisms and being respectful to my body. So yeah, I've kind of have about 5 different questions I can ask, but let's just start with the pain in my body. I have a lot of pain in my hips and my butt and my abdomen and my hands. So I don't know.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the pain, and we'll the 2 energies, that your feminine, your masculine, but overall on your masculine, there's such unworthiness that it stops you from receiving anything good in your life. You block the goodness out, hence the feminine energy out. And that is a belief that it feels that you've battled throughout your life. And so your heart is there. Your heart is like, I want to come in. I want to come more into the body. I want to heal the body. I want to make the body more vitality. And this is also probably why you go to drink and drugs, because your body is lacking in the feminine energy because of this unworthiness that you're carrying. And therefore the body lacks. It has to find an outsource of energy to be able to cope with the lacking of feminine energy. I'm just gonna go and see, because what's the, like I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to go to the like soul level to we're not born this way. This has come from many experiences that you've had, but you're taking me right into the center, like a trauma that you've got. This trauma is a little girl trauma, where I'm not 100% sure what took place, but how I feel when I'm close to you is that you're feeling so unsafe. You are not feeling safe at all. You're feeling that the people around you, it feels many people around you, but they're, you're not, I'm not sure what's taking place, but I'm just gonna, this part of your consciousness is not in a good place. And this comes from an experience that you've had, which seems to really set off, you're around 5 or 6, set off this, no one cares about me. It doesn't matter what happens to me. I'm not getting protection or safety, or I'm not being looked after. So I'm not sure what took place, and we don't have to go into it, but it seems that this is where you're taking me to, you're saying this is where the start of my emotional battle of not accepting love, feminine energy into my life. This is where it started. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, because there's energies around, when we go through traumas with people, we also, the frequencies of them also affect us. We take on their frequencies, and so that part of you is still really scared and still frightened, and in a dark place. And part of a feel, you probably don't even remember this because there's hardly any light here, that this unconscious thing that took place, you also protected it, because we protect our traumas because we don't want, the brain doesn't want you to feel what you felt at that time. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to light up this place, and then I'm just going to ask higher energies to give you some advice on what was your relationship like with your mum?
That was the year my parents broke up. My dad left my mom with 3 kids, so she raised us single-handedly by a loving dad who was just down the block. But they had, she was extremely religious, and we were raised very strict in the church. And she's a tough love mom, not a lot of niceties or sweetness, but she loved me very much. Yeah, I had a rough relationship with her. I live with her now, and it's been a blessing because we've had a lot of healing in our relationship. I'm almost 50 now, but my 3 kids, we split custody, and we live here with my mom. Yeah, I never thought I could do it, but it's been something I guess I needed. Yeah, we have a much better relationship now. But
Okay, that's good. So it was a traumatic year, it sounds like. When parents split, it's a splitting of it splits the masculine and the feminine. And
oh yeah, it was really, I love my dad very much. It broke my heart. Yeah.
did you have a relationship with your dad after he left, or?
Yeah, we're very close. We've been kindred spirits my whole life. Not so much my mom, but that's been later in life.
Did you carry on going to church?
Yeah, till through high school.
What was that like?
Kind of like a double life where I knew how to play both roles. I like to be rebellious and wild, but nobody knew about it. So I did a lot of ministry work and missionary work, and was really active in church. I enjoyed it, but I also felt like I was doing it for my mom, and it wasn't really coming from me.
Mm.
Yeah, she had major expectations in that department.
Okay, I'm just going to go higher up because there's such a split in you. The mental side is so lacking in the feminine. But if you jump into the heart, on your heart side, there's all this beautiful energy, but it's like combining them both together where you can feel that in your body. You don't have to run to substances but obviously that's going to be a process of allowing the feminine in. Part of what religion does, it programs people to suppress the feminine, to block out the feminine within themselves. So you're told the truth of reality, where the truth is actually held within you. Every religion is to suppress the feminine energy, suppress who we are. And then
I think as a little kid, I've always known that. I kind of had a problem with it the whole time, especially thinking that my dad was going to go to hell, or my cousins or something. And I just always had a really hard time with the religion, for sure. Yeah, I didn't like having to be raised that way. I knew better. Yeah, I broke away in high school, but anyway, I just
so the fear that you have is probably related to that. Like being yourself is very frightening. What's going to happen to dad would be very frightening. Like the fear of love.
for myself. Yeah.
And that's what I see. There's so much fear on your mental side that it's hard for you to bring in your feminine energy into your body because you're so frightened. So and probably the men that I'm seeing around are probably the people that run the church. That's so belief structures and energies. I'm just going to do another little journey higher up, and to get as I go higher up and you take me into the frequency of your soul, you're taking me and you're burning, like you're telling me to burn I'm not burning, you're burning the Bible and the image that you're showing me. You place the Bible on the right side of your brain, and also how you perceive the physical reality. So many of your beliefs that you've learned have been the root of your struggle and the splitting, as you had two lives. One life you were free and could be yourself, and the other life was very restrictive and you had to behave and be in a certain way. That's the split that's taking place. Letting go of religion, or understanding what religion has done, is like really going into the mental mind, the fears that you had and the beliefs that have been set up because that affects your energy system, but also keeps your mental, your masculine mind in fear. You can easily jump out of it because when you're in your heart, it doesn't bother you. But when you're on your mental side, it really does. And this is where the addictions come from, of trying to cope with the different fears and tactics they used against the families and children. There's forgotten memories that you have, that once you start writing about your experience of the church experience, of what the advice that you're giving yourself is, that if you start writing about the different experiences that you've had growing up in the church, you'll start to remember more. You will then start to realize it's like shock and disbelief of what they placed beliefs onto you, and what you what you abide to at that time. And what it will start to do is break down the mental beliefs that you have on your mental side. Ultimately, these beliefs are wrong and they kept you frightened. And this is why running away from your fears is necessarily a coping mechanism that you've done and are doing. But actually facing them and facing the fears that you have around this subject, just around the religion, and how that has affected you, because you literally go into the fear itself, you'll be able to let it go. Parts of your mind keeps hold of the beliefs of the religion of the church because it still believes that this is the right way to perceive reality. And therefore you haven't fully been able to, mental mind hasn't fully been able to let go of the religion aspect. But if your mental mind starts to realize everything, because it's so compartmentalized, it doesn't realize the fear that some of the brain is in. And therefore talking about it, writing about it will bring back the memories where your brain will wake up, where you can then let go of the religion and let go of the fear that the religion is trying to protect, because it's like this little girl is so frightened, but the beliefs around it keep this fear in place. And this is what it's like, the priests and stuff, they like preaching and everything like that, and keeping all these little children in fear of life itself. But they keep on doing it because they believe it's the right thing to do, and this is what's going to save humanity. But actually all they're doing is creating so much fear. And that's kind of how I see your brain. Where if you like open the lid on actually the fear that you feel and what this has done, it's then parts of your brain will be able to let go of the belief structures and see it in a far more broader aspect, that can you let go of the religion altogether.
I feel like I have, but if it requires some memories that I'm not recalling, and therefore beliefs I don't know that I even hold, then I will.
Yeah, it's tricky for you because in your heart you're like free. You're like, woohoo, I'm great. I don't need any, religion hasn't touched me. But it's because your mental mind is not. There's a split. But I feel once you start writing and talking about your experiences, it will start to bing, 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 come back.
Thank you, Becky.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you take
Mm.
care.
Thank you very much. Good night.
You're welcome. Night night. Lorna Rose.
Hello, darling.
Hello. Hi, Lorna. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good.
Please, can I ask you to go and then look at a friend of mine, Michelle? She's borderline. She's had a perforated bowel going on and off since November. And she's really desperate because she's about to go in for her 4th op. And I did get her permission.
Michelle,
yes, thank you.
Okay. Formation bowel. She's had operations before?
They started in November. She had a hysterectomy, and then she had a blockage in the obstruction in the bowel after that, a blood clot, and then the perforation started.
When I go to her and she's showing me the energy, she then shares there's a hole in my heart.
Oh God, the same as me.
Yeah, but I think this is an emotional hole. I don't think this is a murmur.
No, but that's what I said to you as well. I also had a emotional hole in my heart.
Oh, that's probably why you're frequency connecting.
Yeah.
Okay, so as she walks through her heart consciousness, she takes me back to her mother. She's saying my mum didn't want me, but this is from her perspective, her emotional, because for any child to come in, it needs to be a want from the mother. But there is a feeling that she's not wanted by her mother, which then
Her
would
mother
be
died,
like,
yeah, 2 weeks after she was born. Sorry to interrupt you.
oh, okay. That makes
And then
sense
her father committed suicide 2 weeks later.
Oh, that's heavy. Okay. She going to listen to this, yeah? So I'm going to talk like
Yes.
she's listening, yeah?
Yes, thanks, darling.
She's taken me to her soul. Her soul is connected to her mum's soul, and her mum's soul is connected to her dad's soul. So they're all connected energetically. She walks me to her mum's energy, very sad and depressed. She is today. She sits in her mum's energies and her mum is comforting her. There's a comfort, but she's saying, I still don't understand. I still don't understand the journey of my life and why you weren't here for me. There's anger, more anger at dad that she doesn't want to connect to his frequencies. And the mum then takes her by the hand and takes her into the unconditional love that everybody is a part of. As she holds her hands and they're walking together, I'm just observing as a very motherly energy. Because I'm not in your life, I wasn't in your life, it didn't mean I didn't want to be in your life. I didn't reject you. It was not energetically, I've been with you all the time. The hole that you feel within your heart does not need to be there. You are keeping it there through the emotions that you have. But I can fill that up if you allow me in. I have many understandings and answers for you that will help you heal. One of them is that many gifts that you have and talents that you have come from me. They come from my frequencies. They've been traveled, they're gifts for you. These gifts that you have of the ability to understand and see people in a way that others can't is part of myself also. I got very attacked throughout my life, mentally attacked because of who I was. I was a very big heart, and I see it's like dark energy. She's showing me dark energy attacking herself, like she's being attacked. It made me much smaller than I was, and became frightened of life. I became frightened of life itself. I became frightened to live. The fear that I had inside dominated my being, and that domination of my being reduced the heart. it became too frightened to live in the physical reality. She's taken me to her passing. I fought to be in life, but the attacks on through my physical body onto my heart was too much. I didn't want to leave you. It wasn't a want at all. It was, as I see, it was like she was forced out of her body. She's then taken me up to the journey of connecting to her soul, and the anger that she felt of leaving her life, her baby, her husband, her family. The pain, the excruciating pain of that was massive. As she processed what took place, there seems to be an attack on the family itself that actually was very dark, black magic, demonic energies. This is not a normal. When people pass, and what I see, there's like a decision on a higher level, a decision like that, right, I'm ready to go. But there's something very connected to this family that was not of the light, that was outside of themselves. She's saying her daughter will have an inner feeling of this, that something was wrong. She needs to connect to that and realize that I wasn't gone because I wanted to be gone. I wanted to raise you. I wanted to see you grow. I wanted to see you happy, your smiles. I wanted to do everything for you. And if you allow me back into your heart fully, you will know truths that you need to understand the truth of your life. You need to accept me back in. And that comes from the understanding that I didn't leave you because I wanted to leave you. I was forced out. There's a shakiness. If she accepts her mum back into her life, the whole will go from her heart. The operation's going to go well. You're kind of a mother to her, Lorna. She sees you that way. There's a beautiful energy. There's frequencies that you have, her mum has. So there's a deeper connection that you both have.
Oh, wow.
But her family overall has been attacked by really dark energies. But I don't know if she knows that.
Well, it's funny because she said that. Her husband said that to me. He said, I just get this feeling like she's being attacked, you know? So I've been trying to do, I've been doing like on another level, like a high frequency bubble around them, because she's got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. So she's just torn her bowel again, and she's about to go in for another major. Yeah, it's a fragile status. How she's held on this long with infections and I have no idea, truly.
She needs to accept that, Mum. You're welcome. Big hugs to you, and I pray that she's going to be okay.
Oh, bless you.
Oh,
thank you, my darling.
You're welcome. Bye.
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 Oh, Becky, I'm sorry, you had called me a little while back. Somebody else had
Hi,
called me.
Lisa. Yeah.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this for us. I just wanted to see whatever you could pick up on me. It started 10 years ago with a really severe anxiety condition. I was on a lot of medications. I'm off of all of them now, but I have not been able to work for a few years. I'm really worried about my financial situation. I am applying for disability, and that's kind of the situation. So I wanted to see, like, I guess what you could pick up. I have problems both with my female and my male energy, my masculine. I'm not that in touch with my heart on a consistent basis. I've also struggled with substances, but I also don't have a great masculine either, because I have like no will and determination and like just like power to be here and do things. So I wanted to see what else you could pick up.
Okay, Lisa. Lisa. Okay, as I stand here, Lisa, your energy comes to me. It's very kind of fairy-like, but a fairy that has very little energy. You've got these little wings and you're like, Becky, I'm really tired. I'm like, what do you need? What do you need to understand in order to help you here on Earth? You fly, but you fly very slowly. You're not so bright and bubbly, and as you go into the deeper frequencies of yourself, you're saying, I want, but I don't get. I want, but I don't receive. I want, but I don't seem to be able to manifest the life that I want. And therefore, I'm missing a link. I'm missing an understanding. I don't understand. And when that happens, you're connected to Gaia, and Gaia's energy comes in. There's a responsibility that each individual has. Each individual has their own way of manifesting their own reality. Parts of the healing that takes place is healing the inner child to come out of the victim energies. The victim energies of when you were a child have caused you to feel not responsible for the life that you live. And therefore, it keeps you in the victim energies. Mm-hmm. There is a part of the inner child that doesn't want to step into the masculine or step into the responsibility of creation. It is scared. It is scared of the physical reality. It is scared of taking responsibility. That little girl that I see when is temper tantrum. I don't want to do this. Therefore, you know what you need to do in order to create what you want. However, creation, what you want, causes this fear to come in because of and that would then, the fear of creating, the fear is due to the fear of taking responsibility. And also, I don't know if I can do it. There's a lack of belief. And therefore, if there's a lack of belief, how you deal with that is also like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to live my life. But it's primarily in lacking belief in yourself, and then the lack and the fear of actually doing it. The energy of lacking belief, there's an energy in your heart of like, I don't believe in life. I don't believe in the masculine. I don't believe I can do that. I'm walking with that frequency in your heart for some reason. I don't know where we're going. But as you're walking, it's like also depression. Yeah. Like I can't have what I want. I can't do what I want. But you've worked very hard at trying to stop yourself from getting what you want. It's like you're so like there's a fear if you get close to the breakage. So what does need to be done? You need like support, like a support system. So when I ask, okay, how does Lisa break out of this? I see you in a room of other people holding hands, supporting one another. That in itself will be a massive step, because you have to leave the comfort of your home in order to get that support. You have to come out of that, because part of your protection of not taking responsibility is also not seeing yourself in others, that you're different And therefore, if you're different, then you've got your problems and no one else can relate. And that also is a way of protecting yourself from actually achieving what your heart really wants to achieve, is like to live the life that you want to live. So you've got the problem, like, I want to live this life, but also part of you wants to stay in child victim mode because it doesn't believe that it can actually come out of it and create what it wants to create. And if you get close to it, you get so frightened. It's like, I can't leave my house. I can't leave. I can't do it. I can't do it. It gets so frightened. And the reason you don't want to maybe connect to other people who suffer with severe anxiety is because if you see somebody achieving, then that disproves the lack of belief in yourself. Like, yes, if you see somebody can do it from the state that you're in, you also then would then challenge your belief. So the first step is actually connecting to people. You're great with people, you can relate to them, and it may be that it has to be over the internet first.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and then it go into like a seeing other people achieve, because basically you've got this trauma that happens it's like a lack of belief. You can go through every single trauma that you have, and you've gone through many, but this is not wanting to take responsibility and a lack of belief in itself, and then that's loads of fear, and it's so bad. The fear can be so strong that you can place many different labels on it, and that can take you down different tracks. What's good is that it's not like loads of different traumas. It's like you've gone through, it's one bit, but the fear is really big. But you can do it. It's taking responsibility. But you can do this. Okay, Lisa.
Okay. Thank you so much, Becky.
You're welcome. You take care.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Bye. We can Sarah. Sarah. If Sarah's not there. Caroline, there you are. Hi, Caroline. Did you put I don't know if you put anything up, Caroline.
There we are. Hello.
Hello.
I'm
good. How are you?
Oh, just really resonating with loads of stuff there. Thank you so much. So you once said that my heart had healed, which was amazing, but that my head was, still vicious. And I was just wondering if you could go in and see what I can do it's turning down as I'm healing more. Do you know what I mean? It's not quite so vitriolic, but it's still pretty bad. So if you could, I don't know, just
what's bad, Caroline?
Just you're stupid, like what Mum used to say to us, you're stupid, you're worthless, nobody loves you, all of that,
Okay.
Just the self depreciation, whatever the word is.
Do you believe it?
No. That's the weirdest thing. No. Sometimes, I suppose, sometimes, but not. Like, I know who I am and all of that, but I still, there's still a lot of noise.
Okay. Noise in your brain. There is some comfort in denser frequencies. Part of our people's survival, if we go into denser frequencies and we feel like we can't get out of them, we have to be comfortable in them, and then they can bring comfort to us. And that's what you're saying. There's some comfort in these frequencies because they feel like home, because you've had them for so long. and the comfort is what keeps them there. What does it feel like when I don't have this in my life? It has created like an identity that you have, and a feeling of belonging here in certain parts of your consciousness. And therefore, it's like you can live in a home and it's all messy and it's not great, but there's comfort in the mess. And it's finding like, I actually want better. And this is actually a decision. It's not actually going through the different traumas or anything like that. It's you deciding like, I've had enough of this shit. Because you're showing me a switch. And rather like it, because if we're staying in a place that is not, there's got to be some sort of benefit there. And it's like you've got all the answers within yourself, and you're like, Becky, I know all the answers. I could talk to you and you'd be like, yeah. And so it's pointless me actually giving you any answers because you know them. It's actually you going out and doing it.
Right.
And also maybe understanding the comfort that you have. So the comfort that you have is like, there may be another layer to that, like they're scared of coming out of the messy home because can I do what my heart wants to do? But I feel like you're not going to know that until you actually do it.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense in that. Why would you stay where it's awful? But you're right. Yeah. Okay. I've been told off. Thank you. No, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You take care, Caroline.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Louise? I can't hear you, Louise. Lofty.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
A friend of mine popped me onto you from her courses that she's been doing with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, to the last one, which was really helpful, and I thought I'd listen to this one, which was I think that last one was a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So, and she's benefited a lot. She's completely changed, actually. Yeah, it's beautiful to see. So she just sort of moved me over to possibly putting up my hand to ask a question. So I have a military background, my family, mm-hmm. and we've had some interest, and our family's kind of interesting anyway. We've had a few challenges, and I find that as I move forward with what I want to do, I feel like I'm stopped. And I know there's some fear in there, but I think a lot of it is now, it's what do you call it? It's getting a bit ridiculous. So then I find myself thinking, well, am I in some sort of a container where I can't make things happen for myself moving forward? So when I have thoughts and feelings about things in a direction, it seems to just stop. Much like the lady in the last one where she doesn't have a vision. A while ago, it was a long time ago, my dad said to me, "Oh, you don't have anything here, Louise." And he pointed at my third eye. And I thought, that's really odd. What does he mean by that, you know? And I really didn't ask him the question because he has that ability. He's just great at getting things done. And although I have plans, it's not a 5-year plan, but things just don't seem to come to fruition. So it was interesting that he said that. And I don't really know where that comes from.
Okay, let's go and have a see what's going on and see how we can understand it. And then, so it's like, so what you're saying is that like when you want to get things done, but you wanting, but then not being able to manifest it, or it's both sides, like the visual's not there of the want and then not being able to create it.
Yes, and then I get the feeling that there's, I don't know, there's something stopping me. So I don't quite get it, but I can't see it. I can sort of feel like a blank wall kind of thing.
Okay.
It's very odd.
Oh, bless you. Okay, Louise, let's go and have a look. I'm just going to have a look at you. Okay, so you've got two energies in you. You've got your left side, your heart, which is the left side of the brain. That energy is connected to who you are, everything that you are, your higher self, your soul, your connection to everything that is. And then you've got the right side of the brain, which is the mental side, the masculine side, and that is decodes the feminine to help you manifest your life. It's like, so it needs to understand your emotional state, so it can understand your wants, your needs, your desires, what you want to manifest. When I go to the heart, so the first energy that I see on your heart is fear of, I don't know what it is that I want, but it's very childlike. Part of our healing is healing the inner child, because if the healing of the inner child is not done, we then work at a child level, and that will interfere into generally not being responsible or being empowered in our lives. Children have to be looked after, they have to be cared for, therefore they give their power away. But this part of your heart is childlike energy, and it's like, I'm scared I'm going to do something wrong. There's a fear of something, of doing something wrong. So this may be a trauma that is at the forefront. Then I see the frustration in your mind, not understanding, okay, well, what is it that you want? What is it? Where are we going? But actually, it's the brain is, the mental side seems quite strong, but it's not going to manifest something if the heart's in fear, because also you'll just run away. The heart, a tendency just to run away, and then the masculine, the mental mind is just by itself, and you're not being fully in your body and being present. So I need to understand the fear that your heart is in. So I'm just going to ask you. So when I ask you, you're not taking me right back into your timeline, but you're showing me now, and you're holding a little dolly. So you're around 4 years old, and you're holding a little dolly, and you're frightened this little doll is going to be taken from you. I'm like, can you take me back into where this happened? What setting did it happen in? You then take me back to the age of 4, and you're at home. I can feel your mum is around, and mum is not, she's not happy. There's stress in the family home, and this dolly that you have is, it gets taken away from you. It's a form of punishment. It's a way of like, you do as you're told, or it's kind of like, because you love this dolly, and you then will be more so it's a way of parenting. But this dolly is not just a dolly, it's a comfort. It is you have unconditional love for this doll, and you're 4, this doll is alive to you. This is your baby. And also this takes you away from the fear that you have towards your mum, because there's fear around your mum and your mum's reactions. So when your mum is not in a good place, you then lean on this dolly. But the likelihood is that she can take the dolly away from you. So you become very frightened of, there's just fear, this 4-year-old fear that I see. That fear then stops. You have million connections in your brain, but the first 7 years of your life, your brain is creating a structure to help you live in. This structure tells you how you can express yourself, what is safe, what is not. The primary function, one of the primary functions, is to keep the heart safe. And this fear that you have of love and it being taken away from you is what's experienced as a child. That then created a structure on the right side of your brain of keep yourself small, keep life small, keep you small, keep your wants small, keep what you love small. These sort of energies coming at you, like, I'm just going to talk to this little you. So what this does, you limit the amount of you that comes into the body, which means you limit your life outside of yourself also, where you've got all this beauty in you, but you're scared of actually showing it outside of yourself because you fear that it's going to be taken away from you. Yeah. Does this resonate?
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. And this fear is really strong, that your brain can block it off so much you don't feel the fear, and then part of your brain's like, oh, what the hell's going on? I don't know why we're not manifesting. Just tell me what you want. But also the early years of your life, you've been wanting an unconditional love. It's been very frightening. So what I'm gonna do is talk to the little girl. When I'm talking to you, this runs a bit deeper as well, because the little 4-year-old is unsure if mummy loves her. And if you feel like you're not loved by your mum at any point in your life, and it becomes so strong that it enters into your consciousness, into your feelings, then that lacking of love, feeling of love is, it goes, like it has effect on all your life, like expressing yourself, like opening up your heart. What was your relationship like with your mum?
That's interesting because she's always been a very happy-go-lucky woman. She's always the life of the party, and she's always been there for us. But when there's a difficulty, either within myself or my sister, sometimes she can't relate. She can't seem to come out. She just sort of says, I can't help you there. I don't know how to help you. And that has come across most of my life. And I do know that she was very unhappy when, in that first 6 or 7 years of my life and my sister's life. So we're close, but I don't feel like I'm I feel like I'm the one that is the mother, if you know what I mean, somehow. I don't need to be, because she looks after herself really, really well. I'm very lucky. She's 90 something and she's still walking around and looking after herself. So she just has a great personality. But I think when we were children, possibly, yes, there were some uncertainties. So maybe that took away from that. And there was a lot of fear because obviously we were in the defence force, and you know, Dad had to go to Vietnam when he was 6, so there was, or when I was 5, I think it was. So yeah,
A lot of stress on the family. Dad's not being there.
But Mum, yeah, that's right. And I think maybe she had to step up, but I think I can relate to you know, the fear and the I can't remember my doll though. I know there was something around, but I can't remember which one it was. But there was, I think, possibly a lot of fear. I know when my sister came along, everything seemed to change. And there was a lot of energy around what, you know, my sister needed. So I'm the firstborn and she's the second. And maybe there was just a lot of stuff happening with my mum and she couldn't be there or something. But when, I know when she gets a temper on her, I know when she gets a temper, yeah, I tend to go like, you know, I just close up real quick. But then there's another part of myself that thinks this is a little out of order, and I tell her. Then I tell her. Now I do. You know, come on, Mum. No, this doesn't even match what you're angry about. It's
yeah.
I'm not sure that if that helps.
Well, I think what's taking place is that there's a fear of actually wanting, and ultimately that fear of wanting because it's going to be taken away from you.
That's exactly right. You're right there.
Yeah. So and that energy comes from when you were little, that little girl energy. And that is what needs healing, like the little girl, because that the emotions that we have when they're really strong when we're little, they stay within the emotional line in the left brain, and then your mind will then reconstruct so you don't get hurt. And ultimately your brain has gone, right, well, we can't love or have what we want because it's just going to take it away from us. So you've tried to eliminate wanting from your consciousness. Well, part of the feminine is wanting. You want. Yeah. So obviously it's not in all areas, but yeah, this is why it's difficult for you to create the life that you want to create, because part of your frequency, it's not all your heart, it's just a little girl frequency that you've got, goes against that, like, oh no, it's scared of, I don't want, you know, and then your brain works against you. So it's like you getting you comfortable in actually wanting, like it's okay to want, and allowing that. So it may also be I mean, do some work now, but it's also getting comfortable with wanting, and that can be little things, doesn't have to be big things of like, if what is it that I want to eat today, or what is it there where I want to go, and because it may be far more comfortable to do what other people want to do rather than you.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes, you're quite. You're speaking what I would be speaking if I was if I was there myself. So yes, that's very. And I think the doll was now I think I remember. I think the doll was. It looked like a person. She was Raggedy Ann. Her name was.
Yeah. It was soft.
Yes, it was. Yeah, red hair, and she could put her arms around you and everything.
So what you could do is also, now you remember the doll, you can visualize going back to that doll, and it's like, that's mine, it's not going to be taken away from me, because that little girl's so in fear that the doll's going to be taken away from her. And it's not the doll, but the doll represents comfort, and it takes away the fear that, does mum not love me? Do you know what I mean? You've got a fear that when mum went really angry, she was like, she doesn't love me. And so the doll was like a comfort thing, but when she was really angry, she would take that off you. So there's like two traumas going on: fear that mum doesn't love you, and fear that the comfort is going to be taken away from you, your needs and wants.
Wow, that's really interesting and really helpful. I don't remember her getting really angry but I know that she could when she wanted to. I just can't remember any specific thing. But the areas where you're saying I need to, what did you say before? It's easier to go with whatever somebody else wants rather than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Mary. That's
You're
great.
so welcome. You're so welcome. And if you ever want to there's courses available at the moment. There's a morning one, so an Aussie one that would help. This is for everybody, so there's courses available. I think there's room on my healing courses at the moment, and I do one-to-ones, and there's some students on there also, some amazing women that are also doing one-to-ones, and my partner Totto. So
do you do installments at all?
For the course, yes.
You do insta. I know it's with the conversion, it's rather challenging. So we can, if it's installments that you need, then if you send me an email and we can set that up for you. If that's very generous of you. That's very generous. Thank you very much, Becky. My friend is very chuffed that we got to speak. She loves doing your work. So,
she's very lovely. That if it's the lady that I think, she sent me.
Psycho? No, Psycho.
Oh, it's Psycho. Oh no, it's someone different. Oh yeah, she's beautiful as well. Yeah,
she is a lovely.
Yeah,
I think. I think she's different to what she was. Very, very much so. Very, very much softer, and we have very deep and meaningfuls. And she speaks about your work a lot. So thanks, Becky. Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. So glad I could
and the
help.
group too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do this again at some point, and maybe we can do like a Q&A, a free Q&A, and that's when I remote view. So it won't be personal questions, but questions I can, because I do that as well.
So that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I do that on Patreon. You can join my Patreon. So I have a Patreon. I'll put a link up. So I'll post this up on YouTube, and then I do a Q&A every couple of weeks. That can be fun and uplifting, and especially in tricky times. So thank you so much for all coming, and sorry I couldn't get to all of you, but I hope it was helpful to everybody, and I'll see you all soon.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Becky. Bye, darling.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.